President Karzai never made her marrying her attacker as a condition. I think that was something that was misunderstood with the translations of the press release. But after my conversations with the palace, they have assured me that her release is not conditional. It's an unconditional release. If she chooses to marry her attacker, then she can choose to do that when she's released, but that is not a condition of her release.
Let's just talk about this film that the EU had funded that exposed Gulnaz's case and the sorts of abuses that Afghan women routinely suffer. Because then we're hearing that the EU blocked it for fear of embarrassing the Afghans. What's your take on that?
Well, to be quite honest, I don't have anything to do with the documentary. That is not something that I'm focused on. I'm focused on and have been focused on getting Gulnaz released from prison. That has been my sole motivation for her to be released and in a secure place. The EU documentary film, that's between the EU and the filmmakers, and so I'm focused on Gulnaz.
Is the issue here, Kimberly, for Gulnaz and other abused women like her, that women uphold the family honour in Afghanistan, so any attempt to expose abuse is extremely humiliating to the family, and actually she can end up being killed?
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone can honestly 100% guarantee her safety, but we do have a location for Gulnaz to go once she is released. It's a location that we are not disclosing to anyone. I do think that her agreeing to marry her attacker was because of what you just suggested, that honor is an issue. She wants to obviously protect herself, protect her daughter, and while she was locked up in prison, or while she is locked up in prison, she thought by marrying her attacker that may be the best way to restore her honor.
How much does this case underline the fact that as Western forces prepare to pull out of Afghanistan, there is much unfinished business in advancing human rights for women? I mean, who's left to champion their cause then? People like you?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I'm here independently. When the troops leave, it doesn't mean that I'll be leaving, but there's also other Afghans here that are obviously championing this issue. I am Gulnaz's co-counsel. There's also an Afghan lawyer who is also representing Gulnaz. So this wasn't an international effort. This was an international and Afghan effort. If you look at the online petition, there's a vast majority of the people that have signed that petition are Afghans. The President Karzai, he made the right decision in my view, and the clemency application that we submitted, it wasn't something that isn't part of the process. That is part of the Afghan process in seeking clemency for someone. So I think there is hope for Afghanistan. I think there are enough Afghans and internationals here that are working independently, and also frankly with the military and the embassies and things like that, where we can make a difference. I think this case is definitely a step in the right direction, and I think we need to this case has established precedent. Essentially, the President Karzai, with the approval of the Attorney General's office, the Supreme Court, and the Ministry of Justice, has said to the world that they're giving a woman who was raped clemency, and they want her to be released. To me, that's a message that what happened to her, with her being charged with adultery in the first place, is wrong. And also, President Karzai also is telling them to look at the files of all the women, as I understand it, at least in Kabul, and also to talk to all the women that are in prison in Kabul to find out what happened to them in court. So it definitely is a step in the right direction.
Okay.
And I think, with Afghanistan and any other country, we can always do better.